Hansen. Count it. Is there for three. Melody Lalott. The exclamation point for Boise State. Welcome to ExtraMile Arena at Boise State University for a key Mountain West Conference women's basketball matchup as a top-ranked offense in the conference. The UNLV Lady Rebels take on the #1 defensive team, the Boise State Broncos. Good evening with my broadcast partner, Shay Shaw. I am Mark Snyder. And Shay, the importance of this game is magnified when you take a look at the conference standings. Coming into tonight's game, roughly halfway through the conference season, UNLV on top after suffering their first loss in 2 years in conference play, while Boise State dropped their first 2 games but have won 4 in a row and are sniffing the top of the standings.
This is a huge game for the Broncos. They're going to want to come out aggressive and wanting to get that fifth win in a row. And UNLV is also going to come out aggressive because they just suffered their loss. They're going to want to get back on top.
Boise State coaches also emphasizing the importance of defending the home floor, and they're going to have their hands full tonight with Desiree Young, the senior from UNLV, one of the top players in the country in scoring, shooting, and rebounding.
Desiree is a tough competitor. She is aggressive on the rebounding on both ends of the floor. She is aggressive on the block. She can hit a mid-range jumper. She's really going to be a tough guard for the Broncos.
Desiree Young is on the watch list for the Lisa Leslie Award and the Becky Hammond Mid-Major Player of the Year Award. So Boise State will have their hands full, and a lot of the time tonight, keeping an eye on Desiree Young is going to be Abby Muse of Boise State, the junior, second in the country in block shots.
Yeah, Abby's going to have to do her best not to block Desiree's shots tonight and not get in foul trouble. I think that's going to be one key for Abby, and the other key is going to be aggressive on the offensive end. She's going to want to be aggressive on the boards and scoring just to keep the Broncos in the game.
Muse also one of the top rebounders in the country. We have 2 of the best rebounders in women's college basketball on the floor here tonight as the Broncos take on the Lady Rebels. Boise State and UNLV in a key Mountain West matchup. The starters and the tip to tonight's game coming your way next on the Mountain West Network. And welcome back to ExtraMile Arena. The Lady Rebels of UNLV and the Broncos of Boise State. Mark Snyder and Shay Shaw with you. And Shay, one thing that Boise State will want to try to do is get out to a quick start. They did that in several games in this winning streak. The Utah State game was the exception, where they turned it on later in the game, but a fast start will really help Boise State tonight.
Absolutely. A quick start, quick buckets. Seeing the ball go through the hoop is very key, and it gets you going.
We're underway. UNLV and the Road Reds. Our officials tonight, Charles Gonzalez, Kyle Bacon, and Sherelle Blue. And here come the Rebels with the basketball. This is Ashley Scoggin, gives it up to McKenna Bracken. And back to Jackson. Kiara Jackson cut off, tries to get it in the low post to Young. She spins and scores. And there's that talent in the low post.
Abby was doing a great job of post defense. It was honestly just a good pass that I was surprised it even got to her.
Outside is Maya Hansen from Billings. On top to Natalie Pasco, the Broncos' leading scorer. Low post to LD Lalott, who's really come alive in the last couple weeks. That one is too strong off the glass, and it's Brackens with the board.
If you notice, Desiree does a good job of running the floor. She immediately took off as soon as they got the rebound, trying to get deep post position.
Scoggins outside to Young. 13 on the shot clock. In the corner, Durazo Frescas on top to Jackson with 3 on the clock. High off the glass, and it only hit glass. So it's a shot clock violation of Boise State. Good team defense that time.
Great team defense. They did a great job of communicating all the screens and everything, so that was just great team stop.
There's Mary Kay Narrow, missed the first 2 games of her Bronco career a couple weeks ago. And the team really turned it on when she got back in the starting lineup. This is Abby Muse at the high post. Backdoor cut, not there for Hansen. So Pasco out to Narrow with 10 on the clock. Gets the Muse screen, pick and roll to Abby. Corner, Hansen rises and is short. And Brackens with another rebound. Quickly to Scoggin. She misses the three, but there's Young inside for the offensive rebound and the putback.
Desiree is doing a great job of immediately being aggressive on offense and the boards.
Averages over 9 rebounds a game. Muse will fire from the top left, miss it. And there's another rebound, the third for Brackens.
That was a good looking shot by Muse. We're going to need her to hit those, but that's a good look for her.
Brackens in the starting lineup tonight. Alyssa Brown, their normal starting forward, injured this week in practice, did not make the trip to Boise. So Brackens, they lay off her. Nowhere to go with it. Good defense by Narrow. Jackson drives, and another shot clock violation. So 2 shot clock violations by this aggressive Bronco defense.
And it's aggressive team defense. They're doing a good job of communicating Desi on the roll and stopping the roll, but also stopping that drive, the dribble penetration. Wow, that was a difficult word.
Now Boise State trying to make some inroads on the offensive end. As Narrow gets it to Pasco, closely guarded there. Swing it in the post to Muse. Hansen at the top, that's in and out. And a 4th rebound for Brackens, who averages 2.5 a game. She kicks it out to Scoggin on the left wing out of Dallas, Oregon. Transfer from Nebraska. They tie up Broncos with a basketball.
Ooh, not yet. Not yet.
And it's still loose. And now Abby Muse gets it, and on the alternating possession, the jump ball goes to Boise State. That looked like a rugby scrum as you watch it again. Good hands by Maya Hansen.
Maya Hansen does a great job of keeping that ball moving so that UNLV can't get a tie-up on there.
And then Abby Muse winds up tying up with Brackens and getting the held ball. Nika Obiizor in for UNLV out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Underneath, Muse draws the foul. Good ball movement to get Abby down low for the attempt.
Yeah, she got deep positioning and was able to get a nice, easy, well, not necessarily easy, but a good look. And that's what we're going to need from her tonight.
Abby Muse, just a 52% free throw shooter, steps to the line. Boise State off to a good start defensively, but having a little trouble on the offensive end until Abby Muse's first point. She's averaging 8 points and 9.5 rebounds a contest. And puts them both in, and here comes Kiara Jackson from Grand Prairie, Texas, one of 6 Texans on this UNLV roster for their head coach, Lindy LaRocque, in her 4th season. Rebound down low, that's Obiizor, and then she traveled with it, and the Broncos get the ball back. So they're turning UNLV over. They're just having a little trouble at the offensive end, getting the engine running.
Yeah, they're doing a great job on the defensive end, getting stops, making them turn the ball over, but they need to convert on the offensive end and attack the basket. They're kind of dribbling around and handing the ball off and trying to get an open look, but they need to take that first initial step and get that.
Pasco off the mark with that 3 ball. Young back in. Outlet quickly to Durazo Frescus, and she is fouled. Maya Hansen got some of the arm, and that'll be a shooting foul. Lalott will sit, and for the first time tonight we see Trista Hull, the 6'2 junior from Yakima.
That's a tough one. That's exactly what she wants to do. She wants to shoot the ball from the three-point line, but she'll take that one dribble and pull up. So the Broncos need to do a great job of not fouling her. I think she got all ball that time, but that was just my point of view.
Durazo Frescus, the junior from Newport Beach, hits 1 of 2, and the UNLV lead is 3. Swing it over to Muse. Hansen pulls up, Missed that shot off the mark. Jackson with the rebound. Broncos coming out cold here in the early going. Have yet to hit a field goal. They're 0 for 5. Young blocked by Abby Muse. Young gets it back. And misses that one under good pressure by Muse, and the ball out of bounds to the Broncos. Didn't see a signal from the official, but watch it again. Abby really working hard against Desiree Young.
Abby's got it. You can expect Desiree to go after the ball and be aggressive and never give up on a play. So Abby's, once she grabs that ball, she needs to be strong and secure and get that ball to her chin.
Young sits, and Erica Collins, a sophomore, 6'3" out of Chino Hills, California, checks in. Broncos still looking for their first field goal with under 5 minutes to go. That shot blocked by Collins, but Hull with the rebound, and she was fouled. Will go to the line.
Great job by Hull to follow Hansen on the drive and get that rebound and get that second chance opportunity.
Desiree Young with the follow. A low-scoring affair as we start things out here in Boise. 5-2. UNLV in the lead here with about just under 5 minutes left. Let's take a look at the keys to tonight's game for the Rebels. It's established that post. We've talked about them a lot, and defense.
UNLV wants to use who they have, Desiree Young, and just get in there in the post, and also keep the Broncos away from shooting three.
First free throw, no good by Hull for the Broncos. Their keys to the game were consistent scoring, which seems to be lacking right now, and be aggressive and slow down the transition as Hull misses them both. And Young with the rebound gets the ball at the top, guarded there by Hull. Out to Durazo Frescas in the corner. Bays with the steal, takes it away. Danny Bays off the bench with the steal, and then gives it right back as Kiara Jackson in the passing lane. Drives on Narrow, who fouls are going to the basket, and there's that transition game that we just said was a key for Boise State.
Yes, as soon as she got that steal, she was going to the basket. She was aggressive and just attacked MK, and I don't know that was a foul. It was a great block, honestly.
For the Lady Rebels, number 10, Jasmine Locke reports it.
Kiara Jackson, a 71% free throw shooter. In the top 50 in the country in assists at 5.1 a game. Has a Mountain West Player of the Week award on her list. One of two, and talked about Boise State getting off to a quick start. It's really not a quick start for either team. 6-2 Rebels, and Boise State's missed their first 7 shots. All at the high post. Hands off to Narrow. Pasco off the screen. Hard to dribble it against this UNLV defense, which is very stingy right now. Danny Bays, that dips off. And the rebound to Obi Izor.
The Broncos are getting good looks. I don't think they're necessarily their looks. They're not used to shooting from the elbow.
On the baseline, blocked by Trista Hull. Broncos look to run, but Vegas back quickly, and that diffuses the fast break opportunity. Bays has the ball poked free, and they're going to call a foul, I think, on Danny Bays over the top.
Foul Broncos, number 4.
You see how aggressive UNLV is defensively. 2 players there, and hands poking in and knocking that one away. Third team foul on Boise State, and Tatum Thompson checks in, the sophomore from Woodinville, Washington. Scoggin goes behind the screen by Young, looks down low for Young, but she's not there thanks to the defense of Mary Kay Narrow, who hands her back off to Trista Hull.
Great communication by MK.
Kimson down low Young, and she curls it in. Well, 6 points for Young. She's got 6 of their 8 points. on 3 of 5 shooting. Nobody else really doing much for the Rebels. There's Thompson hitting from the right wing for the Broncos' first bucket at 2:50 in the quarter.
Now that's a player on the Broncos squad that can hit that elbow shot. That is exactly her shot.
And then Young runs over Hull and gets called for the offensive foul. Trista, let's see if she's still on the deck. Let's check it out again.
Just straight up leans her shoulder into her, and then it looks from this angle, looks like she just falls on top of her.
Falls on top, yeah. The officials, though, choose not to look at the replay to see if it's a flagrant. So the Broncos get the ball on the turnover. Here's Thompson. Baseline, doesn't get it to go, but Hull drew the foul as UNLV's Nneka Obiizor plowed through the screen. Watch it, see if we can pick it up here. There it is. Obiizor trying to fight through the screen by Trista Hull, who's sacrificing her body here in the first quarter. Thompson, good look, doesn't get it to go. Kept alive to narrow. And the Broncos get a reset of the 20 seconds on the shot clock. Good hustle by Hull to keep that one alive.
Absolutely.
Trista gives it up to Danny Bays. She's open and missed that jumper. Rebound by Brackens. So shots that normally fall are not for the Broncos right now, and they're down 4.
UNLV is doing a good job of forcing the Broncos to take shots they're not used to taking. A step inside the key, or a step inside the 3 is a shot that the Broncos really aren't used to taking.
Shot is blocked. Coming out of the pack is Thompson. She lost the ball, and it's going to be UNLV's ball as Hull couldn't corral it.
Tatum wanted to get that rebound and go. Unfortunately, with the Rebels, they are a little handsy, and they're going to get their hands on the ball, so she needs to take a second, gather herself, and get the ball to MK or whatever point is on the floor.
Charles Gonzalez, Kyle Bacon, and Sherelle Blue are 3 officials tonight. Had their hands full early on with this aggressive defense. The 3 ball from the top is good by Obiizor, and there's the first triple for anybody, and the Vegas lead is 7. Bays looks for room. UNLV's offense gets all the headlines, but their defense gives up only 62 points a game, and there's a foul on the wing on Kiara Jackson.
The Rebels are very handsy coming off screens. You can't have an arm bar as a guard. If you see right here, she puts her hands right there. That is going to be an automatic foul.
Returns for the Broncos.
Now that the refs have seen it a couple times, I can guarantee it's going to be called quite a bit more.
5th team foul, so Boise State in the bonus, and Maya Hansen, 85% free throw shooter, and that one is off. So the Broncos struggling. They're shooting 1 of 11 from the field, 2 of 5 from the line tonight, as Hansen hits 1 of 2. You don't want to get too far behind this UNLV team. They're close right now, and you need to keep it close.
It feels like the Broncos have a lot of energy, and they're almost too amped up. They're taking shots they're not used to. They're playing out of the game that you're used to playing.
Bays with the rebound, gives it to Maya Hansen, and Boise State sets the offense. Thompson, outside Bays, Lalott down low, good position, and it curls off. Heartbreak for Elodie.
That's a tough one. That was great positioning, great shot. It just a little too hard off the glass. A little too excited.
Under a minute to go, and the Broncos just 1 field goal here in the quarter, 1 of 12. By far their worst offensive production of the season. There's a rebound by Lalott, and the Broncos will look to score before the quarter expires, and they're only down 6. Here's Lalott down low. Back-ins on Brackens, and that one was too strong for Elodie.
She's doing a great job of getting great positioning. It's just getting the ball to go in the hole is a little difficult tonight.
This is Kimson. Check there by Jada Clark. 10 on the shot clock. Kimson probing, looking. Clark keeps her out. Puts it up off the window. Missed it. Rebound Thompson with 1 second to go on the quarter clock. Her pass intercepted in a low-scoring first quarter. UNLV outscoring Boise State 11-5 after the first quarter here on the Mountain West Network from ExtraMile Arena. Boise State trailing by 6 after a tough first quarter. UNLV with the basketball.
Broncos starting out in the zone.
The three ball is good by Alyssa Durazo-Frescas. She's a 44% three-point shooter, tied for 16th in the country, and the lead is 9 for the Rebels. Boise State trying to unlock some offensive magic. They were 1 of 13 in that first quarter, now 1 of 14 for the game as Young clears that rebound. Quickly to Scoggin. Scoggin goes all the way and scores.
Lady Rebels basket number 0, Ashley Scoggin.
Ashley Scoggin, the Nebraska transfer. And Boise State. As a shooter, though, Shay, when the shots aren't falling, do you tend to press and really take shots you shouldn't take just to get your team on the board?
No, you need to. You press, yes, but you still want to take the shots that you want to take.
Lalott doubled in the post. Nice job defensively. Thompson misses that three ball.
UNLV is doing a great job of forcing the Broncos to really take the shots they don't want to take.
Scoggin with the left hand curls over the rim and drops. And we're at a dangerous spot in the game where this could get away from Boise State. Down now 13.
Broncos need to respond.
And they're going to get an offensive foul on LD Lalott, knocking over Desiree Young in the low post.
I didn't see what happened. I just saw her fall. Let's take a look at it.
Looks like she cleared out with the left arm.
She did clear out. They've been kind of fighting down there. I've been watching them on the post, and Desiree did a great job of selling it. But she did try to clear her out.
Narrow, Muse, and Pasco check back in for Gordy Presnell. There's Young blocked, and they're going to call a jump ball and Boise State ball as Abby Muse with another block.
Abby did a great job of keeping her hands straight up, and Desiree just shoots right into her hands. And now a whistle and a foul on UNLV in the backcourt. Brackens out of Fairfield, Texas, a freshman. Back in for UNLV is Neka Obiizor. As you see that foul again on the replay. Here's Narrow across the timeline, guarded there by Kiara Jackson. Pasco drives, floater, off the mark. Broncos cannot buy a hoop tonight, now 1 of 16 from the field. 2-on-1, Scoggins, but a good defensive effort by Bays to force that one out of bounds. Great hands by Danny right now. So if you're Gordy Presnell, you're holding the nation's one of the top scoring teams to only 18 points here early in the second quarter, but you've got to be frustrated because your offense is struggling to find any rhythm. The Broncos can't find the basket. They're doing everything they can, but it's just nothing's working. Obiizor releases early and puts the layup in. It's a 15-point Vegas lead. This is Thompson, and Abby Muse called for the offensive foul, running over Young in the low post. We talked about before the game that the post can't belly up. She's bellying up and falling.
Alyssa Christensen in the lineup for the Broncos.
So Boise State brings Alyssa Christensen, the 6'3 junior from New Plymouth, off the bench, trying to rotate post people and find something that's going to work against this UNLV team that up until the loss against New Mexico was in the top 25 in the country. They double up Jackson. Outside, Durazo-Frescas hits the three. That's a tough one because the defensive rotation was correct, but as you got to know your scout, you don't want to leave
Alyssa open like that, she's gonna knock those down. She is a shooter.
Pasco hits the jumper at the top of the key.
Let's hope that gets the Broncos going, gives them the spark that they're needing right now.
On top, Collins. Jackson. Outside, that one off the mark, and Christensen with the rebound. Ahead to Mary Kay Nero, and UNLV not letting Boise State run. And that one knocked free, but Nero runs it down.
One thing Christensen has in her game is she can hit that three.
Danny Bayes too strong, but Abby Muse with the offensive glass and the rebound put back. Broncos being out rebounded 19-9. Scoggin on Bayes, drives, and it doesn't go. Rebound comes to Scoggin, though, for UNLV. Obi Izor with the left hand, and Abby Muse says, not here. That one goes out of play on the block shot by Abby Muse. Her second of the game. Watch it again. Did a nice job to keep separation from the
She let the ball get in the air before she tried blocking it. That was a great, clean block by Abby.
Again,
what she loves to do.
Second in the nation in block shots. Inbounds pass. The three from the left wing is off the mark, and Nero with the rebound. But every time a Bronco turns around, there's a Rebel in their face. So really good defense by UNLV. And that one sails wide of Christensen for a turnover. We'll see Maya Hansen check back in for Danny Bayes.
That was a good pick and pop. It just looked like it kind of got away from Danny a little bit.
Approaching 5 minutes here in the first half, 23-9. The Lady Rebels on top. Obi Izor. Out to Scoggin, and they'll reset. Under 5 to go. This is Kimpson. Gets a screen from Young. Kimpson underneath for Young. Nice play, nice and Young tip. Lays it in. Good two-man game by the Rebels. Extends the lead to 25-9. Natalie Pasco, quick fire off the mark. Obi Izor with the rebound. And here comes Kimpson into the forecourt. You see why UNLV received votes again this week in the top 25, even though they were not in the rankings. There's a layup on the baseline by Durazo Frescas. She drew the foul and will go to the free throw line. UNLV up big, 27-9. Three ball from the left side gives the Rebels the big lead. Some of the crowd here at ExtraMile Arena trying to help the Broncos. They're suffering through a tough first half, down 27-9 against UNLV, as the Rebels showing why they are one of the top teams in the country and why they are leading the Mountain West Conference. Alyssa Durazo Frescas, an 89% free throw shooter, to the line, try to convert the three-point play.
The Rebels are doing a great job of bouncing back after their loss against New Mexico and just wanting to get back on top and wanting to prove to everybody that they shouldn't have lost that game.
Durazo Frescas now with 10 points. Nero, Christensen, Pasco open three ball. That one is good, and Boise State needed that.
Yes, they did. Needed the three, but also needed to see the ball go through the net.
Natalie Pasco is the Broncos in double figures for the first time. So we approach 3:45 to go in the first half. Kimpson up top, very patient with the dribble. She's out of Little Elm, Texas, a freshman. Handling the point guard duties. 4 on the shot clock. Kimpson out to Brackens, and they do not get it off. Good defense on the perimeter by Boise State, forcing the shot clock violation.
Great team stop. They needed that, and now they need to convert on the offensive end.
Jackson checks back in for Kimpson. Broncos would like to put a run together to get closer before the half. Christensen spots for three. Rainbows it home.
That's exactly what she can bring to this team right now. That pick and pop three that is her game.
44% three-point shooter. Bracken's down low, too strong, and then a late whistle, and Christensen gets called for the foul. Her first, team's third.
Number 15, Alyssa Christensen. That is her first personal.
Looked clean from that angle.
It did look clean. It looked like Brackens was shooting in the air and leaping to the side and not really trying to catch herself. But Christensen, wow, Alyssa needs to do a better job of getting in front of her earlier so she doesn't get such deep positioning.
McKenna Brackens hits them both. And the lead is 15. Brackens will sit. And Obi Izor checks in. And here comes UNLV with a three-quarter press. And narrow across the timeline finds Pasco. They quickly double her. Muse, that one is tipped free by Jasmine Lott now in the game, the sophomore from Frisco, Texas. Broncos still have 10 on the shot clock. That three ball too strong over the top. Muse battling for the rebound. And it's picked up by Jackson for UNLV. Desiree Young. Three ball left side. That's off the mark, but Young picks it up and puts it in. Had good position on narrow and dropped it through. And Young now with 10 points. Narrow on the baseline. Maya Hansen down low for Christensen. Backing in on Young. Turns, fires, too strong. Ooh. Rebound tipped and a foul on UNLV as Abby Muse hits the deck. Looks like she's okay.
Can't box them out while they're in the air. May have gotten away with an over-the-back call there.
Second team foul on UNLV. And Coach Lindy LaRock, 87 and 21 in her fourth year at UNLV, and she's shuffling people in and out, keeping fresh bodies on the floor, and they all seem to be a carbon copy of each other with their aggressive defense. Muse up top to narrow. She'll spot for three. Line drive off the mark. And the rebound to Young. That is her sixth rebound. And as you see, when Boise State missing 21 shots, there's a lot of rebound opportunities for the Vegas Rebels. Nice cut by Brackens. Good look by Young for the layup.
I saw that. Alyssa kind of turned her head and looked directly at the ball, and when you do that, the back door is always going to be open. So Alyssa needs to do a good job of keeping her eyes on her man and the ball.
Lady Rebels have hit 4 of their last 5 shots. Underneath, Mary Kay Narrow off the window, puts it home.
There we go. Like the attack and getting to the basket. That's what the Broncos really need to be doing right now.
Broncos' lowest scoring first half of the season, 19 points. And there's a block by Muse. Keeps it in bounds. Quick outlet to Pasco. Has Lott to beat. Lays it up and it doesn't go. Couldn't convert the fast break. 40 seconds to go in the half. Broncos, as I mentioned, 19 points in the first half in a loss at Eastern Washington earlier this year when they lost 64-43. That 43 points, their lowest scoring game of the season. Underneath for Young. Young fouled by Muse. They don't get the call. And the rebound at Christensen. I think UNLV's got a complaint there.
I think that was a no call because of how she posted up. That was a foul. And then how Abby came back. That was a foul. So that was just a good no call.
Muse landed on top of Young. 8 seconds to go in the half. Hansen spins in the lane, goes with the left hand and drew the foul with just under 2 seconds to go.
Wow. That was a very aggressive Aggressive foul.
Foul, Lady Rebels, number 23.
Watch her. She just smacks her.
Young with the foul, her second. She will sit in the final 1.9 seconds. Maya Hansen, an 85% free throw shooter, one of 2 there tonight. Broncos down 17.
For the Broncos, 2.
And Boise State's played pretty good defense tonight. They've turned UNLV over 9 times. The Rebels only average 11 a game. But the Bronco offense is kind of not woken up. Here's Jackson rather. That will not go. And we have played 2 quarters here at ExtraMile Arena. And UNLV on top, 34-19. The backdoor cut to Brackens, and the Lady Rebels running out here at the half. UNLV leading Boise State here at the half, 34-19 with Shay Shaw. I am Mark Snyder, and the Lady Rebels out to the 34-19 lead. But Shay, it doesn't look like it when you look at the numbers, but Boise State defense has done pretty well so far tonight, but UNLV has been able to score in transition.
Yeah, the Broncos are doing a good job of stopping them when it's on the half court, but they're not doing a good job of stopping that transition D. They're not stopping the ball early. They're letting them get all the way to the basket and then sometimes fouling them or letting them get an easy layup.
Scoggins with the layup here as UNLV with 7 fast break points. We said that stopping the Vegas transition was going to be a key. And on the other hand, UNLV has done a good job against the Bronco transition. As here's another offensive pass down low to Obi Izor for the fast break bucket. Now, we talked about coming into this game stopping the UNLV outside shooters, and well, Alyssa Durazo-Frescas, one of the top 3-point shooters in the country, has made the Broncos pay. She's got 10 points tonight, 3 of 5 from the field and 2 of 3 from beyond the arc.
The Broncos are not doing a good job of stopping her on the 3, but that's partially due to Desiree doing a good job of locking down the key. But just because the inside is a threat doesn't mean you can leave the outside open. So the Broncos need to do a better job of not losing Alyssa and not letting her get the shot opportunities that she's getting right now.
Durazo-Frescas, the junior from Mater Dei High School in Newport Beach, has 10 points, and she shares game-high scoring honors with the reigning Mountain West Championship MVP and all-defensive team performer, as Desiree Young has lived up to the billing. 10 points in the first half, 5 of 8 from the field, and she has been that low-post presence we expected.
Yes, she's honestly tearing it up down there. She's getting rebounds, getting offensive putbacks, not giving up on any play, and she's really just destroying the Broncos, if I'm being honest.
She's doing what, well, Desiree Young does on a beautiful feed from the outside there from Kimpson, and then underneath picking up the loose ball and dropping it through, and she's been everything as advertised. UNLV for the game shooting 43%, but really the key is they're holding Boise State to a very rough 6 of 28 from the field, hence the 34-19 lead.
Yes, the Rebels are doing a good job offensively and defensively. They're making the Broncos take shots they don't want to take. They're forcing them to throw things up, if you have to say it honestly, but the Broncos need to come out from halftime ready.
Well, Boise State looking to turn things around in the second half. Halftime continues after this on the Mountain West Network.
Thank you, by the way, for your half.
UNLV leading Boise State at the half, 34-19 here at ExtraMile Arena. And you take a look at the first half stats, and there's not a lot, Shay, you can talk about because they're heavily weighted on the side of the visitors from Las Vegas, especially when you look at the shooting percentages. As we pull up the numbers, Broncos shooting just 6 of 28 in that first half for 21%, their lowest scoring half of the season. While on the other hand, UNLV is 13 of 30 from the field for 43%.
The Broncos have started out, it's been rough. They're not shooting very well, so they need to get to the basket. They're shooting a decently high free throw percentage, so if they can get to the line, I think they can climb their way back into this game. On the other hand, UNLV is doing a great job of sticking to who they are and attacking inside and honestly hitting it on the outside when the Broncos collapse. So great job by the Rebels doing what they need to do to get the win.
And of course, when Boise State misses 22 shots, that's a lot of rebound opportunities, and UNLV cleaning up on the boards. The one positive for Boise State, they've turned the Vegas Rebels over 9 times. Halftime continues after we take this timeout on the Mountain West Network. Welcome back to Extra Mile Arena, where tonight the Boise State women's basketball team is hosting their annual mental health awareness game led by Bronco Bold. You see Shay holding up the shirt. Launched in 2019, Bronco Bold is a mental health initiative created by a committee of Boise State student athletes from multiple sports programs, and all their committee members are passionate about mental health advocacy work and are dedicated to championing a message of hope, help, and resiliency with fellow student athletes and their community, utilizing the platform of sport. For this evening's game, the women's basketball team wore Bronco Bold warm-up shirts, and the coaching staff wearing Bronco Bold shirts as well. Now, in conjunction with the annual mental health awareness game, the team has hosted a personal hygiene product drive to create mental health first aid kits to support health and self-esteem. This toiletry product drive is just one element of the department's goal to build socially connected communities that foster a culture of care around mental health. And a lot of people don't realize, Shay, the importance of mental health as a student athlete and what that does for a player's self-esteem when you're juggling practice, games, travel, homework, tests. There's a lot on these players' minds, isn't there?
There really is a lot. It's a lot that you really don't expect just an athlete playing basketball to have to deal with. And a lot of the time, there really isn't someone to speak to, and I love the fact that there is this Bronco Bold now. It was kind of in the developmental phases as I was playing, so they weren't really heavy on it, but the mental side of sports is huge, and it impacts every day, and it impacts games because you don't know what's going on at home, and a lot of the time you need to speak to someone and speak up about it.
And of course, a lot of these players are away from home for the first time, so that's just one other bit of pressure. Boise State trying to get back on track, down 34-19 at the half. Second half comes your way next on the Mountain West Network. Welcome back to Extra Mile Arena, where the Lady Rebels lead Boise State. Coming up for Boise State, a tough one at San Diego State this Saturday afternoon. They stay on the road in the Central Valley to take on the Bulldogs of Fresno State before returning here to Extra Mile Arena on February 7th to host the San Jose State Spartans. San Diego State at Utah State tonight, Wyoming hosting Air Force. Fresno State is at New Mexico. And here's the rest of the schedule after the home game coming up against the San Jose State. Then they have Wyoming, then hit the road for Utah State and Nevada. And they wind up the season a tough place to play at Moby Arena in Colorado State all the way on March 5th as they gear up for the Mountain West Conference tournament. UNLV, the Lady Rebels, will host the Nevada Wolfpack Saturday at 2 before they host conference league leaders Wyoming, and then they travel to New Mexico looking to avenge their first conference loss in 2 seasons against the Lobos. And then they will play the Bulldogs, host Colorado State. Boise State on the last day of February, the 28th, will be in Las Vegas. And then they end up the season, do the Lady Rebels against Utah State, Ian Logan, as they get set for the conference tournament to be held in Las Vegas later on in March. Well, the Broncos, Shay, it's obvious. The answer is what do they have to do to get back in this, and it's shoot the ball better, but you can probably give me a better answer than that.
I mean, honestly, I can't. They need to shoot the ball better. They need to be more aggressive and get to the rim. I think that is going to be a huge key for them, is getting to the rim and getting to the line.
Jackson starts the second half for the Lady Rebels. Scoggin gives it to Brackens. Both teams come back with their original starters. Brackens outside. Durazo Frescas to Kiera Jackson, the junior from Grand Prairie, Texas. Drives on narrow, out to Young. She'll fire the three from the top and hit it.
Three-pointer.
Just a 24% three-point shooter, but it's that type of night for Desi Ray. She has 13, and the lead is 37-19.
Desi Ray did not like to lose. I can tell you that right now. She is coming back wanting to win this game.
Narrow passed up a layup out to Abby Muse for the jumper from the top. Looked like Mary Kay had a clear path to the basket, but she dished it out to Abby Muse for the field goal.
If you notice, the Broncos are playing off of Brackens a lot more, and that's given the opportunity for the Broncos to sag off and kind of be in that help side and almost double Desi Ray without having to actually double her.
Low post to the double-teamed Desi Ray Young. Battles against Narrow, turns, fires, scores off the window with 2 on the shot clock. Boise State did everything right there, but just a better move offensively.
Can't stop her, but you got to do everything you can to try.
She has 15 points as Hansen hits her first field goal of the game. She's now 1 for 6 from the field.
I like this. The Broncos are coming out wanting to get to the basket, getting to the rim. It's definitely a better start than the first quarter.
Boise State also nobody in foul trouble. That one off the bottom of the backboard. So here comes Narrow. Weak side, Scoggins tries to take it away. Pasco recovers. UNLV just challenges every pass, every dribble.
Their hands are in the passing lane. They're digging up, trying to get the ball.
Hansen back-to-back hoops for the sophomore. It's a 14-point game. Boise State trying to claw back in this one against the Mountain West Conference co-leaders.
I love that word, claw, because that's exactly what they're going to have to do.
But Scoggin finds a seam and lays it in. From Dallas, Oregon, and
Rebound.
back the other way. Natalie Pasco hits the triple.
Broncos took advantage of Scoggins falling on the floor and found a wide open Pasco.
Scoggin outside, guarded by Hansen. Spins it out. Durazo Frescas hits her third triple of the game.
Number 12,
Pasco's got to know the scout. She is a shooter. Can't turn your back on her. She's going to shoot the ball. And she's going to shoot the ball, and then she'll shoot the ball again.
And she'll shoot the ball well, 44% from long range. Underneath, that one doesn't go, but the offensive rebound from Muse. Mary Kay Narrow short off the iron with the 3-ball attempt, and Young collects the rebound. That is her 7th of the game. She averages 9.5. Blocked by Abby Muse and keeps it in play.
We got numbers. Broncos got numbers.
Hansen looks for Lalott. Instead swings it down, and it's knocked out of bounds by Brackens, alertly defending the backdoor cut.
Number 33, Amarachi
Kimson
also number 1.
and Obi Izor. You saw that good defensive play by UNLV to defend the backdoor cut. Inbounds, Pasco fires quickly and hits.
Number 32, Natalie Pasco.
The Broncos are coming out like they have something to prove.
Pasco now in double figures with 10. Obi Izor gets it to drop in the foul on LD Lalott, who was a little slow rotating over and got her across the arm. And Trista Hull checks in. Watch it again. Good first quick step, and Elodie, a little slow coming over, gets the foul called, her second. Trista Hull, who played a good first half, into the game as Nika Obi Izor converts a 3-point play. That's a 17-point UNLV lead. Broncos are collectively, as that one goes in, for Maya Hansen.
I love the hesitation dribble to keep that post with you. Look at it. She hesitates, she waits, and then the line is open for her.
And Jackson with the foul as Young was retreating, backing up, and that gave Maya room. I was about to say, in their 6 losses this season, the Broncos are being outscored by 11.2 points a game. So they don't lose close games.
No, they don't.
That one good for Hansen on the three-point play. She's in double figures with 10. And the Broncos now showing some full-court pressure. Kimpson across the timeline. Boise State trying to get it to single digits here in the third quarter. And their Lady Rebels content to work the clock a bit with 8 on the shot clock. Kimpson outside. Young on the bench, so the Broncos trying to take advantage. Left hand bounces twice for Obiozor. No. Muse with the rebound. That is her 5th.
Different look on the defensive end for the Broncos. More of a 3-2 matchup zone.
Hull outside Hansen. Maya, free throw line. Trista Hull spins with the left hand. It doesn't go.
That was a pretty spin move, though.
That was a nice move. Couldn't get it to go. Drifting a little bit, and it sailed off to the side. Weaving through traffic is Jackson. Gets the ball at the top. Under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Young set to check back in for the Lady Rebels. Jackson yo-yo dribbles. 5 on the shot clock from the top. The 3 ball is good for Scoggin.
The Broncos are doing a really bad job of keeping track of their shooters.
Scoggin just a 26% three-point shooter, but left wide open, able to convert. Maya Hansen drips out. And then Hull tries to keep it alive and can't. Boise State trying to catch up. We see Maya Hansen with a nice and 1 for Boise State here on the Mountain West Network. Sophomore Maya Hansen, 3 of 4 from the field here in the third quarter, 7 points. She started to heat up, and that's good news for Boise State.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, the Broncos are going to need to get to the rim if they're going to want to claw back into this game, and that's exactly what Maya Hansen is doing right now. She is doing what it takes to get to the basket and get to the line and get that three-point play.
Broncos as a team shooting 6 of 10 from the field, 60% here in the third quarter, so they're shooting. Their offense is much better, but they're still down 17. This is Young at the top. Hands behind her to Kimpson. Kimpson cut off. Young drives past Muse, runs over Hansen, and they're going to call the block on Maya Hansen.
I think one ref wanted to call a block and the other wanted to call a charge.
And the baseline official, Sherelle Blue, with the blocking foul. Let's see it again and see if Maya was outside the restricted zone.
She's outside. She was just moving just a little bit still.
Young cut off by Muse, turns, fires, bounces once, no, and Hull with the rebound. Good defense by Abby Muse. Pasco on the right wing. Pasco drives off the window, no, and that ball out of bounds off of Trista Hull. I think the Broncos were looking for a whistle they didn't get.
Trista's doing a great job of attacking and trying to get those rebounds. To me, she's the only Bronco that's really doing that, and she's trying to get those second chance opportunities, which is what they need.
Broncos still being out-rebounded by 13 here tonight. Jackson, high post, Young, guarded by Abby Muse. Drives on Abby, who knocks that one away. Young gets it back. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. That one is off the window and good. And that time got it over the outstretched arms of Abby Muse for the bucket. Young now with 17. And then a foul outside on Jackson.
Foul Lady Rebels, number 3.
Great job by Maya, just waiting for that screen and being aggressive and coming off of it.
She tries to fight through Trista Hull's screen. That's the unappreciated dirty work that doesn't show up in the box score, but setting a screen like that, you know, that's
good screens.
That's what people,
yeah,
that's what you and your teammates appreciate that.
Yes, they do.
Hansen cut off by Young, gets it to Muse. Hands behind her to Pasco. Multiple three-pointers in all but 4 games this season, but that time a baseline drive for Pasco, who's now got 12. Young outside on Muse. Drives. Puts it up strong. Abby makes her miss the shot, but the rebound follow is good by Nika Obiizor. Hull, or Muse rather, out to Pasco. Reset to Abby Muse. Goes in with the right hand. It doesn't drop. Kept alive, though, by Hull to Narrow. A little more dirty work, a little lunch pail for Trista Hull.
She's in there working, trying to get any rebound or any touch she can get.
Pasco. Hull at the top. That's off the mark. And the rebound, Obiizor. Broncos had a couple looks at it, but couldn't get it to drop, and that's sort of been the story this evening. Just struggling from the field, only 31% from the field. But credit the Vegas defense for a lot of that. Obiizor missed that one, but Young puts it in. Just the ball fell in her lap, and she said, thank you very much. She's got 19.
Go.
Timeout called by the Broncos.
And Boise State will take the timeout, trailing 56-35 here with 1:36 to go here in the quarter. Now they're looking at Young. She may have gotten hit in the head somewhere. The trainer looking at Desiree Young. She looks like she'll be okay. Broncos trailing big here against the Lady Rebels on the Mountain West Network. We talked about coming into the beginning of this game how the Lady Rebels have the best offense in the Mountain West. They're 20th in the country, scoring just under 81 a game, and they are 18th in scoring margin at 18.6. And right now, with 1:36 to go in the third quarter, they're up 21 on Boise State.
They're doing exactly what they want to do. They're taking advantage and just playing UNLV Rebel basketball.
19 points for Young. That's just 0.6 off her season scoring average. Broncos with a basketball. Maya Hansen gets a screen from Elodie Lolot at the top. Pasco on the left side pops out. Drives baseline, puts it up strong and scores. 14 for Natalie Pasco after a quiet first half. But you can say that pretty much about everybody wearing the white uniforms tonight.
Very quiet first half.
Obiizor, high post. Scoggin for 3, off the mark. Rebound, run down by Thompson, tied up. And the held ball will go to Boise State's way as the alternating possession favors the Broncos.
I think the Rebels stepped out of bounds while they were grabbing the ball. So
okay, yes, you're right. Good eyes. Durazo Fresquez's right foot was on the baseline, so no alternating possession. Under a minute to go. Thompson spots, fires, hits from 15.
That's her shot. She likes coming off that screen and just turning around and pulling up. It's kind of hard to stop, too.
That one off the mark, tipped loose. Picked up, though, by Lott, and the layup for Jasmine Lott, the sophomore from Frisco, Texas. Her bucket gives UNLV the 19-point lead. It stays that way. Under 20 seconds here in the third quarter. UNLV comfortably in front. Scoggin will hold for the final shot as the shot clock is off. Drives on Bays. Into the lane. Fall back. Good.
That was pretty.
Scoggin with her 11th point. 3 Rebels in double figures. And UNLV is up 60-39. Thompson with the jumper, but the Broncos have a big hill to climb on the Mountain West Network. Besides being the top scoring team in the conference, well, UNLV is the best in rebound margin. They're up 7.7 rebounds, averaging just under 41 rebounds a game. And tonight, Shea, 37-19 the rebounding advantage.
They're definitely going to get past how 40.19 or 40.9. They're on track to get that. And the Broncos need to do a good job or a better job of boxing out and going after rebounds.
One final in the Mountain West tonight. San Diego State wins at Utah State 76-62. Rebels off the rebound. Scoggin, who hit that buzzer beater to end the third quarter. And a whistle down low. I think they're going to get Hansen with the reach. He says this should have been offensive.
Broncos number 1, Maya Hansen, that is her third.
Pasco and Hansen in double figures for Boise State. Scoggin, Young, and Durazo Frescus in doubles for the Rebels. There's a corkscrew turnaround in the lane by Jasmine Lott.
She kind of just floated in the air and had time to find the basket.
Bays out to Lalott. Gives it up to Pasco. Goes behind the back. The pick and roll for Lalott, who finally gets one to drop for her. Nice two-man game, and Lalott with the bucket.
Great read by Pasco on the Desiree, picking her up and having that open roll.
Poked out of bounds by Hansen. 23 on the shot clock. New Mexico leads Fresno State by 1 at the half in Albuquerque. And Wyoming just up 2 with a minute to go in the third quarter at home against Air Force. Lalott picks up the air ball, and the Broncos look to run. Bays, tough catch, drive, scores with the right-hand scoop.
Off to a hot start. Let's keep it going.
Bays' first bucket of the game. Scoggin passes through. They hand it to Lott. Top of the circle. 10 on the shot clock. Lady Rebels can afford to work some clock. Spins over Lalott. Doesn't go, and Elodie with the rebound. Broncos get the missed shot, and now Bays travels. Got a little enthusiastic. Saw Thompson cutting to the basket and turned it over, negating the fast break.
Happy feet.
Little shuffle of the feet there.
Mm-hmm. Shooters are used to stepping into their shot, so I personally probably would have taken the jump stop, but I get the shuffle.
Thompson had the lane, but the turnover, and there's Obi Izor with the bucket down low. Points in the paint tonight. We'll have to see what those are, because I'm sure it's pretty big for UNLV. 38-20 points in the paint. There's a two-pointer for Danny Bays. She's hit a couple this quarter.
Just inside the 3, but good-looking shot.
And a foul on the floor. So points in the paint favoring UNLV by 18. Muse and Christensen come back in. Thompson and Lalott will leave.
I'm quite confused by that foul. I honestly didn't see where the hold was at all.
Scoggin steps back for 3. That's off the mark. And Christensen with the board. Maya Hansen takes it all the way to the basket and is tripped up. And they're going to get the foul on
Foul Lady Rebels, number 3.
Kiara Jackson from behind, inadvertent.
It's her 4th.
And that'll send Kiara to the bench. Scoggin, or Kimpson checks in for her. Hansen in the corner. Cut off on the baseline nicely by Kimpson. 15 on the shot clock as Christensen comes to Bays on the near side. Gets the screen. Tries to get it back to Christensen. She's triple teamed. Down low for Muse against the shorter Durazio Frescus, and she takes advantage of the mismatch and puts it in. 8 for Abby. the UNLV lead remains large. That one off the mark. Muse with the rebound. Long baseball pass to Pasco. 1-on-3. Kicks it over to Bays. Spots for three. Got it!
3-game. Clawing. The Broncos are really clawing their way back in.
7 for Bays on her first three-pointer. And it's 14 points. Did they give themselves enough time to complete the comeback? Kimson rather. She'll rise and fire and miss. And that one is knocked free and picked up by the Broncos. Pasco on the right to Christensen, low block right. Dangerous pass, but Hansen pulls it down and hits the soft jumper. And it's 12. Vegas scoreless in the last 2.5 minutes. And a timeout as the Broncos on a 13-2 run have pulled within 12 with 5:38. Danny Bays, corner for three for the Aussie. Come on right back to ExtraMile Arena on the Mountain West Network. Boise State hit their last 6 shots. They're on a 13-2 run. Abby Muse inside. Danny Bays for 3 from the left wing. And Maya Hansen with the floater. And Boise State's cut this huge deficit down to 12.
Broncos really have been clawing their way back in. They're doing all the little things and doing what it takes to get back into this game. The game's not over. There's still 5 minutes left, a little over 5 minutes left in this game, so they're going to have to keep going and keep getting stops.
Jackson back in the game with 4 personal fouls. Go down low to Young, missed the shot, but puts back the follow. And when you need a point, you go to your leader. She's now got 21, and that breaks that Bronco run and a 2-minute-plus scoring drought.
Yep.
And now Young aggressively with the foul from behind on Abby Muse, and that is her 3rd personal foul. You watch it again, she just locks up.
Yeah, you can't play, if you want to be three-quarter, you got to actually be quarter. You can't be behind the player and then pretend to be three-quarter.
Pasco, runner in the lane, doesn't go, gets her own rebound, puts it up strong, and it curls off. 3rd time, she doesn't get it to go, but earns the free throw. Natalie Pasco battling hard on the offensive glass, just couldn't get it to drop.
Great job on being aggressive and keeping going after it and never giving up. Fortunately, it didn't fall through, but she'll go to the line.
And Kiera Jackson has fouled out of tonight's game. She leaves with just 1 point, 6 assists and 5 rebounds. And now the officials, it was announced to be Jackson's foul, and head coach Lindy LaRocque says, "Are you sure?" And now the officials are going to discuss it. Again, Charles Gonzalez, Kyle Bacon, and Sherelle Blue are 3 officials. And I think they're going to call a timeout, so they're going to check the monitor to see exactly who the foul was on. And that was that number 5 on Jackson or not? Now the crowd getting a little restless, as this is a big call because Jackson is their leader in assists. And see who they call it on. It looks like it should be Durazo Frescas.
That's where
that's the one there. That's a reach by Jackson. I think they got it right. Let's watch it again.
And the call stands.
Yeah, that is across the arm.
Yep.
And it's 5 fouls on Jackson.
And so Jackson is out of the game, and the officials didn't take very long to check the replay. Good job by our crew to get that replay. And that'll send Pasco to the free throw line, and that will mean Kiera Jackson will watch the rest of this game from the Las Vegas bench. But the way that Coach LaRocque has shuttled people in and out today, that shouldn't make that big a difference. Pasco to the line with 14 points tonight. Her first free throw attempts. And it's a cliche, I know, Shay, but you got to hit your free throws. You got to score when the clock is stopped.
Yes. I said it earlier, free throws are going to be a key to clawing their way back into this, and they're doing just that.
Pasco hits a pair. It's a 12-point game again. Scoggin in the backcourt draws the soft double team. Kimpson, the freshman, will run the point. That's a lot of responsibility on a freshman. Looking down low for Young. Kicks it back to the three ball, which is good by Durazo Frescas. Nice inside-outside. And Alyssa Durazo Frescas with the triple.
Alyssa did a good job of getting the ball inside and then relocating to get herself open.
Seen some guy named Curry do that a lot in the NBA.
He never stops moving.
No. Bays. Christensen, they're going to wave it off with a foul down low. Is it offensive or defensive? It is on Scoggin.
Number 0, Ashley Scoggin. That is her first, fourth team
foul. So the Broncos will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Just 2 team fouls on Boise State as Abby Muse catches it outside the arc. No threat to shoot from there. Pasco is, but good defense by Kimpson to force her off the three-point line. Hansen weaves through the lane. Kicks it out. Abby Muse just inside the stripe. Too strong. Christensen with the offensive rebound.
Second chance opportunities. This is where the Broncos need to convert.
Maya Hansen is fouled on the three-point attempt. No, they call an offensive foul
on Alyssa.
On Christensen.
Number 15, Alyssa Christensen. That is her second.
Maybe on the roll. I missed it.
Let's watch it again. Sets the screen. I don't know about that. That was
I think he
soft.
that was very soft, but I think he saw Alyssa kind of lean into Alyssa. But that was a very soft call and not the call to make right now.
Under 4 minutes to go. Young down low. Young with the left hand scores. 23 for Young. Her 43rd double-double in her career. That one knocked free Scoggin, and a whistle, and the foul is called against UNLV.
Great job by Abby to fight after that ball and get on the floor.
Now, Lady Rebels,
trying to get the Broncos the ball back.
Her second personal, the 5th team.
It'll be free throw time for the Broncos.
Trista Hull back in for the Broncos. Abby Muse to the line.
Abby Muse to shoot for Boise State. And that one rattles out. One of 2 for Abby Muse, giving her 9 points. They'll go along with 7 rebounds. But the lead is 16. And UNLV with 3:20 to go. Baseline up and under. Nice move by Nneka Obiizor. She's got 14. 18's her season high, and that ball goes out of bounds to the Rebels. And I think Boise State put on a spurt, got within 12, and seems to have kind of run out of gas.
Yeah, I agree. I think they did a good job of coming out hot and wanting the win, and ultimately just didn't, so far haven't had much left in the tank.
And correction, that was a foul on Hansen, not an out-of-bounds play. So UNLV with the ball, up 18. Broncos, after going on that big run, have been held to no field goals in their last 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And now Maya Hansen called for the foul. And that'll send Kimpson to the line. You saw Gordy Presnell. His team looks like they will lose their second game on home court this season. Hansen leaves. Jada Clark, the junior from Richland, Washington, in. And Amarachi Kimpson, 82% free throw shooter, converts the first. 16 points against Colorado State is her career high. She hits a couple there giving her first 2 points of the game. And just like that, the lead is back to 20. Boise State made a run, but could not get over the hump. A bad first quarter really come to plague Boise State tonight. Outscored 11-5 in that first quarter and just couldn't get the offense going. Started out 1 of 15 from the field, and that's a tough hill to climb.
Yes, they really shot themselves in the foot in the first half and just haven't been able to get themselves out of that hole. They've tried, they've really gotten close-ish, but it's a tough hole to come out of.
Pasco now at the free throw line. Hits the first and converts them both. She's got 17 to lead the Broncos, but 4 Rebels in double figures and a comfortable lead leading to, in all likelihood, a comfortable win here at ExtraMile Arena on a Wednesday night. Broncos will look to regroup. That 3 ball is good for Scoggin.
Pointer number 0, Ashley Scoggin.
That was a good, nice, deep look. Not usual for her, but
Broncos will try to regroup on the road Saturday afternoon in San Diego against the Aztecs as Danny Bays hits her second three-pointer of the game. She's got 10. So 3 Broncos in double figures, but the damage was done early in this one.
The Rebels are going to use every second of the clock to secure the win.
One more bucket puts UNLV pretty much at their season scoring average, which is a shade under 81 a game. They've got 78 now as Muse loses that rebound to Young. Battles on the baseline, and Abby inadvertently trips her. And it'll be free throws for Young. 23 points
Broncos, number 33,
tonight.
second.
Abby had the rebound, just lost it, and Young secured it, and just a accidental foul.
Desiree Young to the line, shooting 2.
Desiree Young hits the first.
Rebels number 21, McKenna Brackens, back in. And number 20, Macy James.
Just checking to see Desiree Young's
Alyssa Christensen returns for
scoring this season.
Replacing Hughes.
Her season high in points is 32 against Oklahoma, so she'll be well short of that tonight. Outside, Pasco hits the 3. Natalie Pasco with 21.
Good looking shot.
Coming off a couple good games recently, but again, nobody else shooting the ball particularly well. Pasco 7 of 17. 30 seconds to go, and UNLV gets the 4-point opportunity as Jada Clark hits Amarachi Kimpson, who hits the 3. And with 28.2 seconds to go, Kimpson with a chance for the 4-point play.
That's a tough call. You're trying to contest and just make it a tough shot and accidentally bumping her.
Well, that makes it a 21-point game. Kimpson with 5. Clark, Trista Hull off the mark. Rebounded by Durazo Frescus, and UNLV will just run out the clock and leave Boise with their 16th win overall and their 6th in conference play. The Broncos fall to 13-7 and 4-3 in the Mountain West. And you can see why this UNLV team has only lost 1 conference game in 2 seasons.
Yes.
They did it inside, they did it outside, and they, points in the paint, 44-22. They out-rebounded Boise State 42-28. They shot, let's see, just under 50% from the field. And they held Boise State to 38% from the field. So all in all, a pretty dominating performance by the Lady Rebels of UNLV.
Yes, the Rebels just really took to who they are and just wanted to come back and bounce back after their loss against New Mexico.
Maya Hansen getting set to join us here courtside after a difficult 84-63 loss. Maya, we're used to talking to you after a Bronco win, a little different tonight. Talk about the struggles and the challenges that this Bronco team faced, especially in that first quarter.
Yeah, you can definitely see in the first quarter. I mean, we just weren't hitting the shots, which that can be frustrating at times because each person that's made those shots has made those shots before. So I trust myself, I trust my team that we can make those shots. So we just had a bad start, and that's where it kind of led. I mean, I felt like we played good after that, but it was just too big of a lead that we couldn't make up. So I just know I'm confident in my team that we can make those shots in the future.
Second half, you guys came out and you didn't necessarily take those shots, and instead you were trying to get to the rim, and that's kind of what you want to see after those shots don't fall. And kind of what was the locker room talk at half?
Yeah, it was kind of that same thing. We know we can make those shots, but if we're not hitting them, we have to find alternate ways to score. So that was just being aggressive, and for me, that was being aggressive and just attacking the rim, and that's where you could find those looks.
In that third quarter, you got out to a 13-2 run, cut it down to a 12-point lead, had the momentum. Did you kind of run out of gas after that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a game of runs. I guess that's what basketball, and we made our run, and they just came back with their run. So we just know in the future is that we just have to cut down those runs as soon as possible.
You were much more aggressive in that second half, attacking the basket. Was that the game plan all along, and how did Vegas keep you from doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I always want to look for my own shot or just be aggressive because that's what leads to my own shot or it leads to other shots. So it's just more playing my game, and if they take one thing away, trying to find the alternate route.
Well, the Broncos look to regroup on the road against San Diego State. Never an easy one, but I guess you'll learn from this one and move on.
Yep, definitely.
Maya Hansen, our guest here post-game, she finishes with 12 points, but Boise State drops this one to UNLV in convincing fashion, 84-63, as the Rebels also overcome a slow first quarter, 11 of 5, but come back and do, as you said, Rebel things.
Yeah, they're just playing their game and playing Rebel basketball, which is just aggressive team basketball, and the Broncos just couldn't keep up.
Boise State finishes with 3 players in double figures. Natalie Pasco pacing the way with 21, Maya Hansen with 12, Danny Bays with 10. For the Lady Rebels, it's Desiree Young leading the way with 25, 16 for Alyssa Durazo-Frescas, 14 points for Neka Obiizor. Also, Ashley Scoggins with 14 points. Rebounding, a big lead for UNLV, and turnovers. I guess if you look for a silver lining, Boise State only turned it over 8 times, but UNLV 0 turnovers in that second half.
Yeah, the Rebels did a better job of handling the ball and keeping control of the ball and not letting the Broncos turn them over, but the rebounds is what really stands out to me at 42-28, and that's a huge rebound margin. That's those second chance opportunities that the Rebels were giving themselves.
So Boise State falls, just their second loss on ExtraMile Arena hardwood this season, falling to the top team in the Mountain West Conference. UNLV now assured of staying at the top of the standings pending Wyoming's game against Air Force going on right now in Laramie. Boise State falls tonight on a Wednesday night, 84-63 to the Lady Rebels from UNLV. They will be next in action Saturday afternoon when they travel to San Diego to take on the Aztecs of San Diego State in another critical game in the Mountain West Conference. For our entire crew and my broadcast partner, Shay Shaw, Mark Snyder, thanking you for joining us tonight on the Mountain West Network. Until we see you Saturday from San Diego, have a pleasant evening from ExtraMile Arena in Boise, Idaho.